Hello everyone, welcome to the Aspiring IIScians Meet 2026. I wish you all a very happy Ugadi, Gudi Padwa and Chaitra Navratri. And also we all wish you a hearty congratulations for your GATE results today. I am Saladi Pravalika. I'm the chair of the IEEE student branch at IISc and also a PhD student. And along with me, joining is Varivarsha Palladi. She is the chair of the ACM student chapter at IISc and she's a BTech student. And we also have a lot of volunteers from all the different degree programs and the departments. And we do have a couple of professors joining in as well. And we have organized this outreach event to give you an overview of the exciting opportunities at the Division of Electrical, Electronics and Computer Science, EECS at IISc, including other departments such as Center for Nano Sciences, Computation and Data Science, and Robert Bosch Cyber Physical Systems as well, Center for Cyber Physical Systems as well. So here's how today's session will go. So first I'll introduce IISc and the EECS division along with its departments and the programs. So this will be followed by short introductions from all the department representatives of each program who will then take up all your questions. So you may post your questions anytime in the chat box and we'll make sure to address all of them towards the end of the session. So we hope this session helps you get clarity about the programs and the opportunities that await for you at IISc. So, so IISc has started about 115 years ago. So through these years, because of its excellent faculties and its excellent students, and some of you will become such students, so IISc has built a reputation as one of the best schools of India. So in the National Institutional Ranking Framework or NIRF India Ranking 2025, we are #1 in the university category and also #1 in the research category. So if admitted, you will be coming to a top ranked institution in India. Also, IISc is an institute of eminence, so which has brought to us significant funding and also enables us to become one among the best in the world. So we were one of the first institutions to earn this prestigious Institute of Eminence tag. So the division of EECS is like a large electrical engineering and computer science and engineering departments put together. So we actually have 4 departments within the division: computer science and automation, electrical and communications engineering, electrical engineering, and electronic system engineering. So you will learn a lot by searching EECS IISc on the internet. But for today, we will also be discussing about a few additional or affiliated departments apart from EECS, which are CeNSE and CPS and CDS. So these are the entire overview of the research program and the MTech and MEngg programs at EECS and all the allied areas at IISc. So we'll keep rolling out these posters during the Q&A. You can scan the QR codes and you can look into the websites and also learn a lot of information, like all the details will be given. So the division has a total of 100 plus faculties and 300 plus PhD students, 400 plus master students, and 10 plus MTech programs and 1 MEngg Masters in Engineering program in CeNSE. So the +2 here includes an affiliated program at the Center for Cyber Physical Systems and the Department of Computation and Data Science, which are in the Division of Interdisciplinary Science of IISc. So we now also have MTech in AI as well and MTech research in AI as well included. So I'll now speak about our course and project-based degree programs. So we have electronic system engineering. We also have electronics product design and electronics and communications engineering, computer science and engineering, and electrical engineering as core programs running out of the individual departments. So we also have joint programs like signal processing and microelectronics and VLSI and artificial intelligence. So in addition, we also have the robotics and autonomous systems from the closely related Center for Cyber-Physical Systems. So the other MTech programs are offered by other departments of IISc and have some EECS content and maybe also be of some interest for you. So MTech in nanoscience and engineering, MEngg in semiconductors technology, MTech in CDS, that's the computation for data science, and MTech in AI, MTech program in robotics and automation systems, RAS, etc. So one of the key specialities of our MTech programs is that every one of you will do a substantial project involving 1 year of research when you will closely work with your supervisor. So here we do have some MTech posters of EECS. So we'll be rolling out these during the Q&A, so you can take a better look at them at that point. Okay, so this page has details on the gate papers for each of the MTech programs. So for example, if you want to apply for artificial intelligence program, and it's an interdisciplinary one, so it comes under CDS, CPS, CSA, etc. So for that, the gate require, so each of these programs have varied gate requirements. So some require only gate, some require gate and a written test, and some require gate exam, written exam and interview as well, and some require gate and interview. So apart from these, we also have the online courses, or online programs in artificial intelligence and electronics and communications engineer as well. Sorry. And apart from that, we also have supernumerary seats for women candidates in MTech course-based programs. That's since 2023 to 2024. So excluding sponsored MTech seats and MTech online seats. So under the scheme, if the number of approved offers for a program has less than 25% women, so additional offers will be made to women candidates, and also it's subject to minimum GATE score or CAM score, that's your career analysis marks, and a cutoff for the respective programs. Oops. Okay. Yeah. So apart from that, for our MTech programs, is an admission possibilities for those who are from the centrally funded technical institutes, or in short, CFTI. So the CFTIs are all the IITs, NITs, IISers, IIITs, and some IIITs in public-private partnership. So if you have a GPA of 8 or more, you are eligible to apply for admissions to all these programs that you are seeing here. So this does not really require any gate, but you need to have a good GPA and you have to pass your interview. And apart from that, there are a few pre-doc programs in different departments. CSA has Sparks, EC has pre-doc, and ESE has pre-doctoral training program. So you can look at these in their respective websites as well. So in addition to the MTech programs, we run two more, two flagship research programs in which each admitted students will submit a thesis for the degree. So these are MTech research and the PhD. And then we also have a direct PhD, which is something right after your bachelor's. If you want to jump into PhD, that's called as a direct PhD. And for this, you can either enter through GATE or right after your bachelor's, 4 years. So that is either BE or BTech and BS research from CFTIs with a CGPA of 8.0 or higher. And I'm also one of these direct PhD students. So if you have any questions, please direct them to me later. And yeah, so the posters here, they again provide a wealth of information about the EECS research degree programs and have been put up in all the social media handles. So just search for EECS IISc on X and LinkedIn. Yeah, so if you come to IISc, you will do cutting edge research in our special research environment. For research snippets, you can visit the website that you can see on the top. It's eecs.iisc.ac.in. So here you will see a recent, quite a while breakthrough resulting in the computational geometry from CSA. So a work on decompressed sensing that won a Best Paper Award at the foremost venue for information theory. And this is by a student and her advisors from ECE and control of dual active bridge-based converters. And it's a work done by a stellar student and his advisor in electrical engineering. And also there's some brain-inspired neural network for navigations from ESE. So you will also see how our spreading codes have made it to the NAVIC L1 signal on ISRO satellites and many more. So I encourage you to visit the web page here and learn about our research. And yeah, so every admitted MTech or a PhD student is given a scholarship at IISc. So in addition, you will also get an opportunity to win attractive fellowships like the Prime Minister Research Fellowship or the CPS Research Fellowship, etc. And there are quite a few companies like Cisco, IBM, TCS, Google, Qualcomm, Samsung, Sony, etc., etc. So these are the companies that offer enhanced scholarship to the students that join IISc. So these can be anywhere from 1.5 times to 2 times a regular fellowship, or sometimes even more. And they also provide some contingencies as well. So Bangalore or Bengaluru is an exciting place to be. So from being the IT capital of India, it has now become the startup hub. And uh, And there's also a good chance that you may be part of the exciting startups from IISc. So here are a few startups that our students and faculties have started. So as you can see on the top left, there's Mimic for endoscopy training, and that's with haptic and visualizations as well. And then there's SimYog for EMI or EMC categorizations. And there is Kino for knowledge graphs, and we have Polmich for newer generation domain-specific processors, and we have Raghavira for Indian language technology solutions, and there are many more. And EECS has deep connects with the industry and R&D labs. So here are the logos of a few. They support us, they work with us, they also hire our graduates. Not only EECS, but also the other departments such as CeNSE, CDS, etc., CPS, etc. So all of them have really good connects with the industries and the research and development labs. Hmm. And on the research side, EECS is at the heart of several interdisciplinary initiatives: brain, computation and data science, networked intelligence, cybersecurity, biomedical informatics, sensors, material informatics, quantum technologies, visual analytics, etc. So if you come here, you will get an opportunity to work on one or more of these. And we collaborate with researchers from across the world. So here are some states in the US and some countries in the Europe, some countries in Asia and Australia. And this is only a subset. Many of our students get a chance to present papers and or visit our collaborators and do internships in these countries. So here's EEC's vision to strive to be among the world's foremost in electrical, electronics, and computer science by offering world-class education that trains the future leader in EECS and by creating breakthroughs that meet societal needs. And you can learn more about all of this in eecs.iisc.ac.in website. And yeah, so here are, and not only that, here are some beautiful pictures of our campus and also our iconic building. And yeah, so you can go to our admissions.iisc.ac.in website on the internet, and you can apply to IISc today itself. And these are the important dates. So the website for research programs, PG course programs, integrated PhD, and all of that has opened already last month. And the last date is 23rd of this month. So it will be closing at 11:59 p.m. And for you to look at for you to look at your eligibility and all of that, you can actually go to this link, or you can just type in IISc admission notice 2026, and that will be the first PDF that will pop up in your Google, and you can look at that PDF. So that will give you an understanding if you are eligible to apply for a given program that you have in mind. So, yeah, and on this picture, you will see on the top right something that signifies discovery, and on the bottom right, you see something that signifies invention and innovation. So, the discovery picture is a two-dimensional layer of carbon cut in one way, which leads to a significant increase in conductivity, which may revolutionize interconnects on chips. And the other is a micro-engineered platform for antibiotic susceptibility testing and takes the laboratory to the patient. So in a quest for excellence, we make the two coexist at IISc. So I really wish you a very informative session today, and thank you for joining. And I will give the stage to Varivarshya now. So all the volunteers can introduce yourself once Varivarshya starts. So I wish you all the very best, and do apply before the deadline ends. Thank you, everyone.
Hi everyone, I'm Varivashya. Thank you, Pravalika, for such a warm and I think really nice presentation and introduction of IISc. I'm Varivashya Paladi. I'm the chair of the ECM student chapter here. I apologize if my camera isn't that good, but anyway, it's really lovely to see you all here. I think so. Now we'll move on to the section where you all have questions and you can put them in the chat. And I think one by one we'll be addressing all of these questions. Before we begin, I request all of the volunteers to introduce themselves, like their departments and something they like about IISc. We can start. Who's up first?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
So, hello everyone, I am Himanshu Jain. So, I am second year MTech AI student at IISc. So, currently I am pursuing my research project at CDS department. So, it would be like, I would be happy to answer the questions that all the students would have related to MTech AI and like MTech CDS courses.
Okay, so we actually had an order. Is Anirban in the meeting? Okay, so how about Prashant? Prasanna Kumar from CDS? Sakshi Chhabra from CDS?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Sakshi Chabra, first year MTech research student from CDS in Dream Lab. So I'm really happy to answer all the questions of the students. I wish to inform that we have many such labs for MTech research students as well as for MTech and PhD students in CDS. If you want, we can discuss on that also, and I'll also answer the rest of the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Anjali Rameshwari from CeNSE?
Hi,
Arshit?
I'm Ritik Singla. I'm a second year master's student from Center for Nanoscience and Engineering. So at CeNSE, we work on everything that you can't see. So by that I mean we work on at the micro and the nano scale. You must be hearing about about semiconductor buzz, the Micron ATMP plant, and other plants coming up in Odisha, and the Tata plant coming up in Gujarat. So yeah, we do that kind of work. We actually fabricate chips and semiconductors. We work on high frequency systems. We work on micro nano electromechanical systems. We work on microfluidics. We work on neuromorphic computing. We also work on bridging taking inspiration from neurons to make modern computer networks. So yeah, we have it all. It's a very interdisciplinary department. If you're a person who loves, who loves to delve into different sciences, different subjects of the sciences, that be chemistry, mathematics, physics. So you should give CeNSE a try. The coursework here is pretty, rigorous, and you can ask me questions about placements, how to get in, what is my review of CeNSE. And also at CeNSE, we have the largest academic clean room. So what a clean room is, it's a place where you can actually manufacture these semiconductors. It's a class 100 and class 1000 clean room. So yeah.
Thank you. Prakhar Chauhan from CeNSE?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm doing my master's in engineering from CeNSE and semiconductor technology. My friend has talked everything about things. So we are making something very, very small. So you all must have heard about the government pushing semiconductors and fabrications units all over India to make India a global giant in semiconductors. So yeah, we have a fab clean room where everything happens. So it's very nice to work here. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Do we have Rankit Kachu from CPS?
Hey, hi. I'm Rankit. I'm PhD second year in CPS department. We'll happy to take questions about the PhD and MTech programs from CPS. Thanks.
Thank you. Yashita Jaiswal, CPS. Okay. Do we have Srimugdha Mahalakshmi from CPS?
Yes, hi everyone, good evening. So I'm Srimugdha Mahalakshmi. I'm doing my MTech second year in MTech AI from CPS department. So CPS provides a specialized interdisciplinary environment combining AI, ML, robotics, control systems, and IoT. So if you have any doubts regarding the MTech AI and MTech CPS courses, you can let me know. I'm happy to answer all of them.
Thank you. Do we have Samuel Nadar from CSA?
Hello everyone, I'm Samuel Nadar. So I'm from MTech CSA first year. So in our department, you have variety of subjects, variety of research going on from systems to theory. So I'm from Chris Lab. So if you have any doubts regarding that, I'm happy to help you. I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Hurali Sai Shanmukha from DESI. Do you have Vedant Saxena from DESI?
Yeah, hello everyone. Myself Vedant Saxena. I am first year MTech student in microelectronics and VLSI design, and it's a joint program handled by that is Department of Electronic System Engineering and the Electrical Communication Engineering. And I am in a neuron ICS lab under Chetan Singh Thakur professor, and I'm also a placement representative from my batch. So you can ask me any doubts, or feel free to ask me any doubts regarding the VLSI branch. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, Saladeep Pravalika.
Okay. Hello everyone. Again, so reintroduction for myself. So I am a PhD student and a Prime Minister Research Fellow at a completely different Department of Design and Manufacturing. But my background is in electronics and communications, and I work on biomedical. So I'm kind of interdisciplinary in a way. So that's the thing I love most about IISc, that no matter in which department that you're in, you can always work in the area of your interest. So yeah.
Thank you. Soham Lakhote from ECE.
Yeah. Hello all. So my name is Soham Lakot. I'm currently a final year PhD student working under Professor Gaurav Banerjee in the ECE department. So my area of research is mostly in the analog and RF circuits. So we design semiconductor-based radar on chips, and it consists of all the things that you can imagine in the transmitter receiver, like the power amplifier, the low noise amplifier, phase lock loop, the two-stage op-amp, the active filters, ADCs, and all. So, and I was very fortunate to work under an advisor who decided to take our research and start a startup which recently got funded by the AMD as well. So, if you have any questions related to the circuits or what research we do, and also please feel free to poke me in the chat section. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Srivardhan Chamudpati, I'm so sorry, from the ECE department.
So, good evening, everyone. I am Srivardhan. So, I am pursuing my master's in electronics and communication engineering, and my mode of entry to IISc is via GATE examination. So, I am currently working in quantum error correction under Professor P. Vijay Kumar. So, we at our department basically work around RF communication systems, coding theory, etc. So, yeah, it's a pleasure to be here today to share my experience and interact with you all. I hope this session will be insightful for you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have Ramesh Kumar from ECE? Gunavardhan from ECE?
Everyone, this is Gunavardhan. I'm a second year MTech ECE. I'm a part of a lab in CPS, so there is no boundary. So you can ask me any questions on ECE or CPS. I'll be happy to help.
Thank you. Do you have Dwaipayan from E?
Yes. Hello, I am Dwaipan Haldar. I am currently pursuing my MTech in signal processing in the electrical department. So any question related to MTech signal processing, you can ask me.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Sanyat Fare, a UG BTech student.
Hi guys, this is Sanyat. I'm a final year BTech student here at IISc. If you have any relevant questions regarding this outreach, you can just ping me in the chats here. Thanks.
Thank you. So I believe we've introduced all of our volunteers, and now I request Kautuk Astu to start with the question session.
Thanks, Aditya. So we'll begin with the Q&A thing. So just a advice to all of you, please post your message under general section. So in the chat box, don't email message directly to organizers. Please use general. So the first question is from Paul Binu. So she asked, how high can you compare the placement stats, percentage of placed, higher roles, major recruiters, median average salary between robotics and autonomous system and CDS? So I would redirect to one of the CDS student and one of the CPS students. So from CDS, I'll say we have Himanshu, you're from MTech AI. So can you answer that question? I think you're second year.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Can you repeat the question? So,
okay, yeah. So the question is, can you compare the placement stats in terms of percentage of students placed, roles they are hired for, major recruiters, and their median salary between robotics and autonomous system and CDS department?
So in CDS department, so recruiters hire people for different roles, ranging from data analyst, ML engineer, AI engineer, and business analyst. So basically, people they also hire for software engineer role as well. So the median salary is around 22 to 25 lakhs per annum, and for MTech AI also the same trend is there. So I say like this year the placement has gone well. Almost all students got placed this year. So yeah, overall CDS department has like good placement statistics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sri Mugdha, can you draw some light on CPS department placements? Sri Mugdha,
Hi.
can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So I'm actually from MTech AI. So I think a person who's from MTech's CPS could answer this perfectly because I was sitting for the MTech AI roles. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can answer
Rankit, would you like to take up the question?
Yeah, sure. So in the CPS, it's a curriculum similar to CDS. So most of the companies which come from CDS are also eligible. CPS people are also eligible for that. Apart from that, there are some hardware roles and all that stuff in which CPS guys also apply, specifics to robotics, AI, data analytics, and all those things. And placement-wise, it's equal to CDS only. So there's not that much hard cutoff, or you can say difference between the two departments. Depends on the interest a person wants to pursue. Yeah.
Okay. So next question is from Karthik. Yes. He's a student from IIIT Tiruchirappalli, and his question is directed to CeNSE and DESE department. So from CeNSE, we have Prakhar Chauhan and Ritik Singla. So can anyone of you take this question? It's regarding to the placement.
Yeah. What's the question? Can you please repeat?
Yeah, I'll read the question.
Yeah.
So he asked, I'm a student from IIIT Tiruchirappalli, and I've applied for MTech programming CeNSE and DESE department, and also for MTech research in DESE department. So he want to know the placement stats and opportunities for CeNSE and MTech research in there.
Yeah. So talking specifically for CeNSE, there are diverse roles from mostly in the processing of semiconductors. Like a few roles I remember are like process engineer and flow engineer, and there are analog and digital roles also if students want to apply. And primarily there are roles on testing and packaging. That's all I remember from the latest scenarios.
Okay. And can you give some
Yeah.
insights on the placement part as well? Like the median package or something? because these questions will come later on.
Yeah, I guess the Ritik would be able to answer this better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ritik, would you like to answer? The placement stats of CeNSE department. Okay. And from DESE department, Vedant, would you like to take up this question regarding the stats of
Yeah,
DESE?
I am a MTech student, but I know we have different types of labs. Like we have a semiconductors lab, that is device lab. MSD lab is there. Neuron IPS lab is there. I am talking about for the MTech research program, and that he or she can take. Sign Lab also there, which is under the USAF sir. And regarding the placement, DESE has a good placement among all branches. And this year, I'm also a placement representative from MVLSI. So I know the almost 90 to 80% placement is done. And talking about the median and CTC, so the maximum CTC goes with 50 to 55 lakhs with a base of it is varying from 20 to 25 lakhs, and the minimum it goes with a 30 to 35 lakhs.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vedant. So hope that answers question. Somebody asked if they have many queries, how to contact in near future. So providing direct contact number is difficult. Like we don't want you to spam us. So I'd recommend mail us, or like either you can mail us or contact on LinkedIn. So yeah, providing direct contact number is infeasible right now. So the next question
Karthik?
is on, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say, all the volunteers, if you can go to the chats and just see any question that you can directly answer, please do put it in the chat. So that reduces the number of questions we have to go through manually. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So somebody wants to confirm regarding, so I think Professor Rajesh already answered the CDS department. So there's a question. I think the person has not written the correct department, but he's written brain computation and data science. So I'm redirect. We don't have. Do we have any volunteer from brain research?
We don't have anyone here at the
Okay.
moment.
One suggestion, because it would be difficult to find out which question you are redirecting to. People can be at different places in the questions. I'll to read out the question and identify the person that we want to redirect.
So the question is, I want admission information of MTech research in brain computation and data science. So the specific requirements other than regular MTech, also placements in that department, also which gate paper is required for admission. So, and Pawan Nimkar has asked this question. So Pawan, we don't have anyone specific from VDS yet, but you can always visit the website official admission portal to refer to the requirements of brain computation and data research. So just want to check, is it for CDS as well? Because I'm assuming you want for brain research. So please check it. Yeah, the Pravalika has posted the eligibility link. So please do refer to it. Okay, next question. The Vansaj Vidyan asked. So it's redirected to people of CeNSE and DESE again. So he asked, have students from MTech semiconductors or PhDs from IISc ended up joining international giants like ASML or Applied Math, as hardware R&D is mostly still international? Have there been such cases? Is IISc a good path to take, or foreign PhDs are preferable in this case? So I'd redirect it to the department. Vedant, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah, you have a opportunity to go with the different giants by taking the referral with the professors. Like we have very nice professors are there that doing the startups also. Like we have our chair Mayank Srivastava, Dr. Mayank Srivastava doing the startup in AGI, that is gallium nitride semiconductor devices that he is working on it. And we have different like one question is there brain computing. So in that lab, that is neuron ICS lab. In that lab, we are working on the neurons, like how the neuromorphic computing is done by the using of analog or digital things. So yeah, you can go with choosing the different professor by aligning the your orientation or can say the goal by choosing the right labs and right professor for doing the PhD.
Okay, thanks, Vedant. So, and anything would you like to add, Prakhar? He asked for CeNSE as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The giants he's talking about, there are companies which recruit on the regular basis, like Applied Materials. In fact, the LAM research is having a collaboration with CeNSE department in which they almost hire a few people, few MTech people, and they provide with the scholarship apart from the regular scholarship, and they have some special industrial experience in, I guess, in the third semester, if the professor allows. So there are very good opportunities for the PhD as well as for this placements perspective.
Okay, so our next question is from Ranjit. He asked, I am a MTech student from IIT Gandhinagar from Biomedical Department. I have bachelor's in electronics. I have applied for DESE, CPDM, and instrumentation and applied physics. Since the background is interdisciplinary, what questions could be expected and how to prepare for the interview? What about placements and startup culture? What about the PMRF or PM Doctoral Fellowship for research industry collaborations and other things? So I'd like to redirect to CPDM folks. So I think, Pravalika, you can pick up.
So hi. So I also am from a different background. I'm from electronics and communications background, and then I have applied to DM, CPDM, and now it's called DM. So since you're from a biomedical background, it's highly possible that you might end up in my lab because we work on biomedical area. So they did ask me a lot of questions on electronics and also the coursework that I have done during my bachelor's, and also some of the NPTEL courses that I have mentioned in my resume, and also on my final year project. So that's mostly the questions that they have asked. And they also gave us a list of projects that are available in the department at that point, and we have to pick our interests as well. So they'll ask you questions based on those projects as well, like why you are interested in that and how much do you know about this and etc. So that's from CPDM. And regarding the Prime Minister Research Fellowships, it's currently at a halt, and the next version will be starting. And mine, fortunately or unfortunately, became the last batch. Like they have taken as an intake. So the Prime Minister Research Fellowship has stopped for now, but there is a different kind of Prime Minister Fellowship that like with the same name. I'm not really sure of the details. So that's again completely different from what we were mentioning during the presentations. So yeah, that's about the fellowships and DM. Is there anything that I did not answer in the question, Kautuk?
So after this thing, fellowships and all he asked and placement stats, I think you've given it. Okay.
Placement stats in DM is completely at a random, I would say. So there are very different programs. So we have product design and we also have smart manufacturing, and the research again is completely different. So my lab works on manufacturing and also in biomedical, and a different lab works completely on robotics. So it's completely different from lab to lab. So I cannot really say like our department has this as a mean or a median, because it varies a lot, especially if you're looking for a PhD.
Okay, and anything regarding industry collaboration, like how frequent is it? Or
so industry collaboration, I wouldn't say there's way too much. We do have clinical collaborators, and if you want more of the industry collaborators, you have to look at Professor Pradipta Biswas, who is also from DM as well as CPS. So he has more industry collaborations compared to any other lab. But especially if you're looking at biomedical, then you have more of clinical collaborations rather than industry collaborations.
okay, so thanks, Pravalika. Hope that answers the question. Our next question is from Utkarsh Jain. Are BS 4-year graduates eligible for MTech in semiconductor technology? Website says BTech and equivalent. So he want to ask from semiconductor technology and CeNSE department. So Ritik Singla, are you available? Can you hear us? So Prakhar, I think you have to take up this question.
Yes. So please repeat the question for everyone.
Yeah. So the question is, are BS 4-year graduates eligible for MTech in semiconductor technology? Website says BTech and equivalent. So it's slightly unclear that BS 4-year are eligible for MTech in semiconductor or not.
So yeah, so BTech and equivalent. So it's like there should be an equivalent graduate degree, 3-year or 4-year science graduate degree, right? So that means BTech and equivalent. So yeah, BS are eligible for programs at CeNSE. So we do have many people from pure sciences such as chemistry and physics. So yeah, they are eligible.
Okay, thanks, Ritik. Next question is from Sandesh Katkam. He asked, "Hi, I am a BS MS dual degree mathematics graduate from IISer. I am planning to apply for a PhD in the CSA department and had a quick question. So he asked, will my MS in mathematical sciences be considered equivalent to an MTech, not requiring gate-based shortlisting for PhD admissions? Or will it be treated like a direct PhD like BTech equivalent, requiring gate for first round of shortlisting?" So redirecting to CSA folks. So Samuel, are you there?
Yeah. What was the question?
So the question is, the person is from BS, the person has BS MS dual degree in mathematics. Okay. And he's writing, will this be considered as a master's degree in mathematical sciences or not? Like it's MTech equivalent or not?
For MS.
He has BS MS dual degree in mathematics.
Okay. So MS is equivalent to MTech research. So
yeah,
that is equivalent to MTech research. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm guessing then he doesn't require gate-based shortlisting. He'll be exempted from that.
Let me clarify. BSMS is basically a BS degree 4 years followed by 1 year MS. The person has a 5-year degree program and a master's, so it's equivalent to master's. Not necessarily MTech research, but equivalent to what is called a master's. Person is eligible to apply for a PhD.
Yeah, actually, in CSA, you have a master's in coursework and master's in research, right? In master's in coursework, you require GATE scores, 100% it is only on GATE. But for master's research, you have interviews, and depending on the exams, it depends. GATE score and the other, or your undergrad scores will depend on for the MTech research.
Okay, and for PhD, it's
PhD also same like MTech research.
So Dilip, if you have further doubt, please please you can check. Sorry, not Dilip. This was someone. So please check the website as well. Okay. So moving ahead, there's a question from Dilip. He asked, given research programs under AI Center are being offered for the first time, could you please provide more details on the admission process and the program? Specifically, will there be a list of specific projects to choose from during the admission process, or will the project be confirmed after the admission? So I would redirect to MTech AI student Himanshu Jain. So
most of the details are there on the website. And regarding the research projects, so in your first semester, so you will be studying all the required hardcore courses that forms the basics of AI and ML. So in the end of the first semester, you will be given a list of the potential projects that you can pursue for your dissertation. Apart from that, you can, if you have some specific interest, you can directly contact the professors and ask for their suggestions and their inputs, like which project is best. And after the first semester, the research project will be finalized. So during the admission, you won't get any list. After the first semester only, you will get the list of potential projects that you can do for your dissertation.
So next question is again to you. So Pawan asked, are there any prerequisites prior joining MTech AI, or basic AI ML taught during BTech is enough?
So
okay, let me complete. So, and coming to placements and internships, can we get domain specific, that is AI ML specific, or like AI/ML specific placement or software engineering is the only option.
Okay. So regarding the prerequisites, so basic programming skills and basic math stuff like basic linear algebra is and calculus is more than enough. So in the written test, you will be tested based on the basic math stuff only, like linear algebra, probability, and statistics and calculus. And again, repeating the same thing. So in the first semester, you have hardcore courses, so that cover all the required prerequisites like linear algebra, optimization, data structures and algorithms, and stochastic modeling. So this will cover most of the basics that will be used in the advanced specialization of AI and ML. And now coming to the internships, so there are various roles. So companies hire people for various roles ranging from computer vision, image processing, speech processing, and general AI ML engineering and reinforcement learning. So you have a lot of options, and based on your expertise, you can sit for any role you want for internship and placement. It is not just restricted to software engineering.
Yeah, I wanted to add on the first question. Like for you were like confused about what should be prepared, right? So basically, they require only the basics, fundamentals. You should be strong. Every professor requires your fundamentals to be strong. They don't require you to know advanced stuff. So just be strong with your fundamentals, and your interviews or your written test would go well.
Okay. Thanks, Himanshu and Samuel. So we'll proceed further. A request to all the participants, if I have missed your question, please retype them, reping them, because I have to scroll a lot to check. So it's good if yeah. Okay. So Gokul Priya asks, okay, I think this is a thread going on. I don't see this answer yet. So see written, I'm doing masters in biomedical. I am working on microfluidics, that is micro needles. Shall I apply for PhD at CeNSE? How will be the interview and written test? So I'd rewrite to CeNSE folks again. So Ritik or Prakhar, any one of you can take this question. So she's doing masters in biomedical and working on microfluidics. So will PhD be a good fit for her, PhD at CeNSE department? And how will be the interview and written test there?
Yeah, actually means in such biomedical applications, CeNSE is doing some great works in making some biosensors. In fact, I remember Professor Amrish Ghosh, he's working on these nano robots, which is something very exceptional and breakthrough. So things are he's doing like in these departments, which include biomedical applications as well as some biosensors. So you can check on the website, and he's actively looking for the people who are working or trying to work in such domains.
Okay, thanks, Prakhar. Moving ahead, we have a question from Karthik. He asked, I have published 2 papers in VLSI and 3 review papers in agriculture. I would like to know how these publications might strengthen my profile during the interview for DESE and MVLSI. So I think I have to rewrite to Vedant.
Pardon, please. What's the question?
The question is, the Karthik has published 2 papers in VLSI and 3 review papers in agriculture too. And he want to know, will this give him an edge during the interview or for DESE and MVLSI?
Yeah, surely. When you all introduce yourself, you can say कि I have given these research paper and published them. So it will be better for you. Like generally they will ask to from ECE, if you are writing from ECE gate. So generally they will ask to something about 3 to 4 subject. Like if you are saying ki analog, digital, and devices subject. So it will be better ki like you can mold your interview in that side. Ki I have done this project, I am this project, and I have published this research paper. So might be they will give you edge. So it depends on professor to professor.
Okay, thanks. And another question for VLSI. So the Srinivasa wants to know the intake of MTech and VLSI.
Yeah, for this time, the 25 batch, my class strength is 32. So it will vary year to year. For more details, you can please visit the DASE website. They will mention it ki, this year they will take how many students in MVLSI, in ESC and EPD branch.
Thanks, Vedant. Hope that answers the question, Srinivas. We'll take another question. It's for CDS and CPS folks. So the question is from Paul Binu. He asked, for CDS and RAS, can you explain how interview process will go in general for 2026? So basically, the guy wants to know the interview process. So from CDS, I think we have Sakshi Chabra. Would you like to take up the question, Sakshi?
Yeah, can he clarify whether he is applying for MTech or MTech research or for PhD?
He hasn't written, but if in short, you can explain the process for both of them. So
Okay.
the course program and research program.
Yeah. For MTech, I guess there will be a written exam first. I think you have to give it online. It will be a coding exam in April. So after that, you have to, if you are selected, you have to give interview. They'll ask basic questions from computer science, like maybe they'll ask you your favorite subject. Then there will be questions regarding that, or they can. And if you're applying for MTech research or PhD in a particular lab, before coming for interview, there will be a form circulated, and in that there will be mentioned the description of the lab as well as the courses required for that lab, so you can prepare accordingly. And for MTech, it will be very general, like the whole computer science, like in whatever stream you have given your gate, and some computer science background is needed. So yeah, it will go like that.
Okay, thanks, Sakshi. Someone from CPS department, I guess, Rankit, can you take up this question? What's the general admission process for CPS department?
Yeah, sure. So first, when you apply, there is a gate cutoff. On basis of that, there will be a short interview of the people who are selected. So interview contains basics of linear algebra, probability, and some topics which you have done or you are more confident about. And if it comes to PhD or research, so you can also tell your previous experience in the projects, and there would be questions from there. Yeah.
Okay. And the next question is from Vedanta MS. So he asked, he's a BECSE student, and he wanted to know if he could get to learn control systems, robots, and AI. He write, usually he heard that ECE students get into control systems, and he's from BECSE background. So how do he get into this control system thing? So I guess CPS department and ECE department both can take up this question, preferably CPS department. So Rankit, would you like to take up this as well?
Yeah, sure. So there are some subjects floated like foundation of robotics, and control subjects are also there. So multiple departments in EECS will give different subjects on which you can build upon. So CPS also has some courses on that. Even EE also gives some courses on that. So you can choose on basis of your interest and then learn on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ankit.
Also, I want to add, since I'm from CSA, even guys who are doing CSA also, some of them are doing robotics and stuff. So you can, if you are very much interested, you can choose your field related to that now. Like there's nothing stopping that.
Yeah. And so in the soft core subjects, you can choose among those subjects.
Yeah. So it's like general for all the participants. So ISC has a lot of flexibility in terms of deciding your research work. So it's could be across domains as well. So yeah. Okay. Next question is from Priyanka. See out. Can you brief about the interview for quantum computing?
If not, I would recommend maybe finding somebody on LinkedIn from the relevant department. You can always reach out to them. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer.
Yeah. So Priyanka, do reach out to the folks on LinkedIn or like. Okay. So another question from Niyati Thakkar. So she wrote, hello everyone, thank you for organizing this session. After MSc Physics, If one wants to join CeNSE, what would be preferable to go with, NET's JRF or GATE physics? Is there any weightage for the same for people come with NET JRF score and people come with GATE for PhD at CeNSE after MSc physics? And continuing the question, also with what score for the same one can expect the interview call from CeNSE? And she has written 3-4 subsequent questions. So I'll stop there and ask CeNSE folks for like, I see Ritik, you are from CeNSE and Prakhar.
Yeah,
So
we have people from different departments from physics and chemistry. In fact, in my batch, there is one person who is MSc physics and he's doing pursuing the masters in semiconductor technology. Coming to the cutoff, there is things on the website. You can check on the website for that, but you can quickly do it.
Okay, and any preference like giving NET JRF is better or GATE physics?
I guess there is GATE is preferred because everyone I know coming from the background, they have given GATE in chemistry or physics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she has 2-3 subsequent questions. So she would like to know from current PhD candidate. So I think the third is okay. Anjali, are you there? Anjali Rameswari. Okay, so Prakhar, already discussion is for PhD, like, but I think you can tell her your journey for MTech and or like if you know someone from this. Okay, the question is, I'd like to know from current PhD candidate at CeNSE, how did you choose your guide for PhD after qualifying the interview? Is there any preference given in prior already?
Although I'm not edited too much, but still the things I have saw. So there is like regular meetings are there between the PhD and different guides. They can talk to different professors, like what they are working on, what your interest is, and after that they can decide. But more a PhD person can answer. But the professors are very familiar. Like there is a session for about 2 to 3 weeks in which every day you can have lunch with them, go on a walk, and then discuss mutually what is their research lying on and what is your interest, so that you can choose. Yeah, that much only I know.
Nice. Okay, thanks, Prakhar. So the next question is from Durgajit. Okay, let's do this call again. Okay, the next question from Durgaji at Atal. So he wrote, okay, I think Soham already answered the question. Okay, thanks, Soham. So I'll take the question of Arun. So he asks, how many MTech programs a person can apply in ISC using 2 GATE scores? So, okay, it's a general question. I'll tell you. For like GATE scores, like your best GATE score is always considered. So if you have 2 GATE scores, it's given in the same application form. For MTech programs, the limit is 3, I guess. And for MTech research, it's 2 or 3. Like so, it's generally the limit is 3 programs you can apply. 3 departments for under MTech program you can apply for. Okay, so next question. Vansaj Vidyan asked, the question is, I aim for a PhD in CeNSE or DESE, or perhaps an MTech in semiconductor technology. If I already have, say, an Inspire fellowship, he completed BSMS. So does the admission procedure for doctorate change at all? Someone talked about applying through the MTech qualified category, but more details would be great. So since folks, again, I can take up this question, then we'll. So Ritik Singla, I guess you have MTech, from CeNSE department and MTech in semiconductor. So you'd better to answer this question. I aim for a PhD in CeNSE or DESE, or perhaps an MTech in semiconductor technology. If I already have an Inspire fellowship, completed BSMS, does the admission process for doctorate change at all? Someone talked about applying through the MTech qualified category.
That means she's having MTech done. What kind of fellowship?
The Vansas has done BSMS degree and has this Inspired fellowship. So will the admission process for PhDs is still the same, or will it be something different?
I guess it's the same. Means, yeah.
Okay. So
if you have done the MTech from like CeNSE, they can upgrade to the PhD. But if you have done from somewhere and then like you want to start the PhD, then there is no difference.
okay. So here I'll written the details. So details are: I have BSMS done, inspired PhD fellowship already qualified. So is GATE still needed?
Yeah, for PhD it's required.
Okay. Like, is it required after MS as well? Can I check? So I'd say like just check once on the website once, or like write on a mail to this thing, ISC application portal. MTech or okay, Pravalika has already answered this question. Thanks, Pravalika. So Sadul wrote, I noticed that there is a power electronics lab at DESE. Since power electronics and drives work is typically associated with the EE department, could you please clarify whether this lab at DESE offers opportunities for MTech research, or would it be more appropriate to pursue power electronics through the EE department? So DESE we have,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I am a first year MTech student and I know the MVLSI, ESC, and something related towards the VLSI. So that much I don't know the power electronics lab in DESE department. But I know the L. Umandan, Professor L. Umandan is there, who is running the power electronics lab. But I don't know the which lab is best for EE or the DESE department. So it would be better if someone who is working in power electronics lab that will guide him better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thanks, Vedant, and thanks, Srivardhan, as well for answering in the chat box. Okay, moving ahead, the next question is okay. No, it's anonymous. The question is, hello, one out of does having a year gap matter during placements? So because I'm planning to take an year drop after this one for getting into ISC only. So does it reflect during placement? It affects the placement thing. So it's an open-ended question. So I'd prefer if someone from someone who sat for recent placement season would better to answer this.
Can you please repeat the question?
Maybe I can pick up this question. This is Rajesh Sundaresan. So when what primarily matters is how you have performed in your masters and how you perform in the written test and the interview that they conduct. Of course, when they conduct the interview, there might be a question related to what you did during your gap year and things like that. But so long as you have a good reason for taking the gap year and you have performed well, they primarily look at your performance during the 2 years at IISc if you're a master's student. Thank you. Back to
you. Thanks, Professor. So moving ahead, please to all the participants, if I have missed your question, please retype them because it's difficult for me to keep going up and look for it. So a question from EC folks. The question is GATE DA eligible for applying to MTech research in ECE department? So can Srivardhan, can you take up this question?
I think only MTech ECE and MTech Electrical are there for MTech ECE. You can check it out on the website for more. I am not sure about MTech research though.
Okay, thanks. So our general advice to all of them, please do check these things on the website as well. It's available publicly. So to CPS department, maybe Ranket would be better to answer this question. So do you have, can you redirect the Arul to a specific lab which works on flight control system? You can check the lab page and so flight control systems. Do you know some lab?
Not specifically, but yeah, they can check out the aerospace department and CPS department website to get to know about this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The question is from Varun Saha. So how's the placement stats for quantum technology? So right now we don't have anyone from quantum technology here, but do reach out to them. I have a MTech coursework student from quantum technology in my lab, and she is placed in IBM research. So I guess it's good. It's always more than 20 base 20 LPA package. So and yeah, it's like 7 to 8 students or more. I don't know, but it's good. It's okay. So do
Kautuk,
reach out
I
to
just
them.
wanted to add one thing. Like, I had one friend 2 years back. I guess he got placed in the Fujitsu. So I haven't seen like people not getting placed in, even if they
Yeah,
are in the quantum program. Somewhere they will find a right opportunity.
yeah. So thanks, Swam. So not just for quantum, it's for all the departments. So don't worry about your placements. It's again number one institute. You will get some good placement. It's the matter ki which where you want to go. So like the projects you will do will be fabulous and the research work. So it's always you will have an upper hand while bargaining. So and Arul, I am from CDS department. So yeah. Okay, moving ahead. Uh, request to all the participants, please retype your questions on the chat window so that I can have latest questions in hand.
There is a question
Is it?
about ECE specialization to get you a good placement opportunity. I think there is good placement for ECE students as well. I think it has been doing within October and November, 2 months of placements. Between 60 and 80% of our students were placed in most of the programs, and ECE was also one among them. So there's good opportunity for ECE as well. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Professor. The question is from Vijayata. He wrote, I am a working professional, completed my BTech long back. I am interested only in research in AI programs. Okay, research in AI field, I'll say, not AI program. So will it be easier to study for GATE again or do MTech online just for the sake of entry to PhD? So it's an open-ended question, but I'd redirect to MTech AI student again. It's will it be easier to study for GATE or do MTech online just for the like qualifying the GATE? Mhm.
Maybe could
And
you
Himanshu as well.
could you pose the question again? I'll try to answer it.
Okay. The question is, I am a working professional, completed my BTech long back. I am interested only in research programs in AI field. Will it be easier to study for GATE again or do MTech online just for the sake of entry to PhD?
To do an MTech online, you have to have your company enter into an agreement. It's a sponsored mode MTech online. It's a very specialized program only for companies that have entered into an agreement, because there is a project component which your company should agree to guide you. Someone from your company with the relevant qualifications should guide you. And therefore, if you're not working in a company which doesn't have an agreement with IISc, then you will not be eligible to do the MTech online. So if you want to enter into the research stream, the best thing for you to do is a course program, or alternatively, you can reach out to faculty members via email and ask if there are open research assistant positions. And that's another way by which you can re-enter research. So I thought I'll share that. I thought I had already put it in another response, but this is what I would say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. So yeah, and Arul, to you, you can always reach out to the professor via mail. Just you can email them about their lab work if like they are already always busy, but if they get time, they will surely respond to your queries. Okay, another question from Vizeta. So okay, the question is okay, so Pravalika has answered. So she redirected to Professor Chetan Singh Thakur. So okay, but I'll still rewrite this question to Dese folks. So the question is, hi, I am doing MTech in nanotechnology in NIT Calicut. Interested to work in neuromorphic computing. I have seen the related work is going at Neuron ICS lab, ISC. What is the procedure to apply for internship or continue project work in ISC? Also, additional information on the type of work going in neuromorphic field at ISC would be helpful. So I guess neuromorphic is
Yeah.
more related to, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
The one who is applying for, there is a vacancy related to publish, like winter admission is there or summer admission is there for internships, and related to the project work. So in our lab, there is a neuromorphic analog circuit designing, how the neuromorphic computing is accelerating with the analog computing. And one thing is also there, digital VLSI or the FPG architectures also there, the AI and hardware accelerators. And also in our lab, event-based sensors also there. The how the sensors are configured with the brain computing, and I am also working on the brain-computer interface chip. Like I am working on a project like a mixed signal design from for brain-computer interchip. It's like a project is we have to make a chip with a in a subthreshold region that will mimic the brain computing signals for a paralyzed or the paralyzed peoples, so that the chip can control the your movements. So it's like a mixed signal designing for analog and digital domain. And for more details, uh, MEngg said, you can visit the Neuron ICS Lab website and directly reach out to give the mail to the Professor Chetan Singh Thakur.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks for that. So hope that answers the question. Arun asks, if we had applied for 3 programs and if we don't get any of those due to cutoff change, so how can we decide to which program we might have a chance? So the answer is it's like the cutoff changes by few margins, so don't have to worry much about cutoff change. Thing is, you can always shortlist program based on your interest and cutoff. So it's I'd say it's difficult to say how do you decide you will surely qualify the cutoff. Second thing, I'd say prefer your research goals, because you have to spend more time so during the research, like either you do MTech coursework, research work, or PhD. So I'd recommend you don't compromise with the programs. Okay. And second thing, as Srivardhan written, you can reorder your preferences. So yeah. Question again. The question is, I have completed BE from ECE branch. Suppose we take SPML. Do we also need to learn coding like DSA, as there would be ML in that too? So from ECE branch, I'd like to relate to ECE folks.
I think SP guys,
Yeah.
but I think SPML, to be precise, you will require the machine learning concepts there too. But it depends on the modules that you are taking. SP guys can answer it better.
Yes, it completely depends on the module actually. So for DSA, like I have not practically learned, but I am doing recently, so it doesn't matter that much, I feel. If you are going for image processing, audio processing, and all of that modules, DSA is probably mandatory for CDS, and CDS it is mandatory, and AI probably.
So thanks, both of you. So Arul, please mention the department. So like these things vary as per the department. So research synopsis. Okay. So the question is for CPS department. While applying for PhD itself, do we need to give the research synopsis? So Rankit, I think you are doing PhD from CPS, so it'd be best to answer
Yeah.
this.
So while interview, they usually ask you to prepare a short slide in which you can include your research interest or the past research which you have done. It's not mandatory though, but it's better to have it.
Okay, thanks, Rankit. So hope that answers the question, Arul. Okay. I think most of the questions are already answered. So Pavan asked questions to MTech AI placements. what are major companies coming and what are the major roles these companies are opting for? Or generally, what are the demanding roles in industry for AI and what could be the range of salaries for them?
Actually, companies for various role has come this year. So like Fujitsu has come for AI engineer, and some speech processing role has some companies come for speech processing role and image processing as well. So like there are variety of roles companies have visited this year. So general role is AI and ML engineering, and specific roles range from computer vision, speech processing, reinforcement learning, and general software engineering. So the salary also varies. So the I think the maximum salary that some companies has offered is 50 LPA, and minimum is around 15 LPA. So there is the salary range is like 15 LPA to 50 LPA. So based on the role, the salary will be decided. But but the companies have visited IISc for diversity of roles. So it is not any restricted to just software or any other particular field.
Okay, thanks, Himanshu. So hope that answers question. To Arul, most of the time CPS website is down, so it's like they are in back, they update a lot of things. So it may show you under maintenance. So do reach out to professor directly via their email, or if yeah, emails are available, or to check their papers. So in the paper sometimes they mention their emails. You can email them via this. It's okay. So Manish Gupta asked, I completed my BTech in E 2024, doing apprentice at Grid India PSU. Qualified GATE CS this year, but scored not good as expected. So interested in doing MTech or MS research. Okay, he hasn't mentioned the department. If I will appear for another year drop for GATE and get expected result for ISC, then would it impact for my selection or on campus placement from ISC side? He has done BTech in EE in 2024, so to EE folks. So just taking a drop will impact his placement or like even admission cycle to the early folks. Doepian, I guess you are from WE.
Yes. I am not exactly from pure WE, but yeah, I can probably answer. So taking a drop would not, again, the same answer which as the professor gave, that taking a drop will not affect until and unless he performs good in the master's courses and like that.
Okay. So thanks, Depian. So general announcement to all the participants, as you all know, we are bound by time. So we'll wrap up this session soon. So if you have answered question, do type in the chat box now. This might be your last opportunity for direct interaction. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Akshat. Do we have any more questions from anyone? Please type in the chat box. Okay, I think this was all. If you have any unanswered question, do reach out to the volunteers, email them or those things. One last question, I guess, is any ideas you could tell if you know about MBA program from GATE in ISC? So ISC do offer MBA program that I know, but I'm not.
It's not an MBA program. It's called M Management. It's a program that comes from the Management Studies department at the Institute. So you could consider applying.
Okay, thanks, Professor. So all the posters you get displayed, but you just see other link. You can refer to the posters at this link. Okay. So I guess, and yeah, an email has posted. So Gitanjali has posted an email helpdesk.eecs@iisc.ac.in. So you can reach out to this email for further queries if you have, because we are bound by time. Thank you all for volunteers for giving the time. So I'd like to invite Saladi Pravalika for closing note. Saladi.
Hi, I'm not sure if she's here.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway, thank you all very much for joining. It was really nice to speak, answer all of your questions, and we really hope we get to see you all soon. Gitanjali ma'am, do you have any closing comments? Or Rajesh sir, do you?
All the best to all the potential applicants. We wish you the best in all your endeavors and prepare well. Do apply, prepare well, and hopefully you make it to Indian Institute of Science. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you all for joining once again and wish you all the best. All right, we can close the session now. Thank you.